From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Don Mitchell. After President Donald Trump followed through with his 25% tariff threat against the U.S.'s top trading partners, Canada will reciprocate Tuesday with retaliatory 25% tariffs on American goods. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says the response will be against $155 billion worth of American goods, including alcohol, furniture, and natural resources. Pierre Poilievre says there's no justification for the looming trade war between Canada and the U.S. The Conservative leader spoke today after Trump confirmed the 25% tariffs against Canadian goods.
There is no justification whatsoever for these tariffs or this treatment. Canada will never be the 51st state. We are an independent, proud, and strong nation.
Poilievre urged the Liberal government to recall Parliament to put in place a formal plan to handle the economic repercussions of the tariffs. BC's political leaders are calling on Premier David Eby to do more amid the looming trade war. Provincial Conservative leader John Rustad says his party has laid out a 10-point tariff response and is urging the NDP government to immediately put it in place to protect BC's economy. Eby has launched a series of measures responding to the tariffs coming Tuesday, including directing the BC Liquor Distribution Branch to immediately stop buying American liquor from red states. Rustad wants an agreement to remove interprovincial trade barriers, cutting the carbon tax, and reopening BC's trade offices in foreign countries. A top U.S. lawmaker says President Donald Trump's tariffs against Canada and Mexico will cause a great hardship for ordinary Americans. Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer offered some simple advice to Trump.
If you want to go after foreign countries, don't do it at the expense of the American consumer who's going to pay more. That's the number one thing people want, prices to go down. The tariffs make prices go up.
Schumer says independent analysts estimate the tariffs could cost the average American family between $800 and $1,200 a year. And Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he will discuss, quote, victory over Hamas during his meeting with U.S. President Donald Trump this coming week.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said on his way to Washington Sunday he would discuss a range of issues with President Trump when they meet Tuesday, including Hamas, Iran, and diplomatic relations with Arab countries.
The decisions we made in the war have already changed the face of the Middle East. Our decisions and the courage of our soldiers have redrawn the map. But I believe that working closely with President Trump, we can redraw it even further.
This comes after Saturday's hostage exchange. American-Israeli Keith Siegel's family ecstatic. He and two others freed by Hamas in exchange for 183 Palestinian prisoners. Negotiations on the second phase of the peace deal, which would end the war and see the remaining 60 or so hostages returned, are set to begin Monday. I'm Julie Walker.
This is the Canadian Press. In sports, 3 Canadian teams in NHL action this afternoon. Montreal is in Anaheim, Calgary Flames in Seattle to face the Kraken, and the Canucks up against the Detroit Red Wings. Finals this afternoon include the Sabres 4-3 over the Devils and the Avalanche 2-0 over the Flyers. Fans at Scotiabank Arena, they booed loudly during the American national anthem before the Raptors game. The strong reaction likely in response to a mounting trade war between Canada and the United States. And the Dallas Mavericks have acquired Lakers big man Anthony Davis for Luka Doncic in a blockbuster NBA trade. Mavericks GM Nico Harrison says AD is a special player.
A lot of people don't talk about, what he does defensively and offensively, but, if you can name first-team All-NBA players that are also first-team All-Defensive players. That's a unique unicorn to try to find, and we're able to find that.
This is the Canadian Press.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.